Look at this. This is a crazy video as we see two young male lions descending upon this home. These dogs are there to meet them, but ugh. Look how aggressive these two lions are. I mean, these dogs aren't backing down, but I don't think 20 dogs could take on these two lions. It's almost like these lions are the Bash Brothers. They're just going house to house, looking for something to eat. Let's also take a look at the luckiest man alive. The owner of the dogs, hearing the commotion, goes out to check. Even opens the gate and walks out. I mean, buddy. I mean, that could have been a bad situation. For the guy, with the gate left open, meaning for the dogs, if he left the door open to the house, could have been a bad waterfall. Yeah, I agree with that guy. What is that thing?
That's trippy. Somebody help me understand that. Somebody help me understand what the that is. Look at no, that's the sky's tripping. Big time. Big time, baby. Big time.
Of all the comments I saw, the best ones were, "It's exactly what you think it is," "This is a booster separation from a rocket," or "This is an aircraft losing its cloaking." Man, I don't know what it is, but it feels and seems very sketchy. This photo was uploaded to Reddit in March of 2021 by user Phoenix783. The image shows a still frame captured from their CCTV camera, which is set to only detect movement. It shows a street outside their house, and in the left lane, an upright figure can be seen standing still in the middle of the road. So what does the person do? They go straight to the Reddit community. After sharing this image, it definitely sparked some debate with over 1,000 comments. Some users think it might just be a mannequin placed on the road for some reason. However, others are skeptical and believe it might be a product of Photoshop or another form of photo manipulation. Yet, when a luminance gradient filter was applied to the photo, the figure displayed varying depths, shadows, and light, suggesting that it was genuinely present, as its features aligned perfectly with the surroundings. Now, some enthusiasts who lean more toward the paranormal drew parallels between the figure and the Fresno Nightcrawler, a less popular cryptid, but still. The Nightcrawler is described as having a noticeably small upper body in proportions to its height, which is pretty small, about 1.5 meters, and most of its height is attributed to its long legs. Now, the important part. What do you guys think about this mysterious photo? I am curious to hear your thoughts. No need to do a triple take, you are seeing exactly what you think you're seeing. This lady is walking down an alley with a lion. I swear, that's exactly what it looks like when you pull a toddler away from the playground. I mean, I need so much context, I need all the backstory. What is happening here? It's just an amazing clip. If you have any idea how she is doing this, let us all know. Oh my gosh, the anxiety I have over this. What are those guys doing? Someone please tell me, why would those guys be out there? If you look closely, it looks like they've been up there a few times. There's maybe the little axe trail on the way up. You know, I would say that this would probably be one of my worst fears, but I would never put myself in this situation. I'm all the way out. Don't invite me. I don't want to go. The risk reward is just not there for me. I hope these guys are okay. As the iceberg topples over and they fall off, it looks like the wake from the structure was actually able to push them out of the way. It was dicey for the second guy, but the one guy definitely got pushed out of the way. Whoever's filming scooped him up. End of story. Go home and get some hot chocolate. Now, this is a bit of a sad video here. We are seeing a mysterious phenomenon unfold known as whale stranding. When I originally saw this clip, I thought that there was one whale that was dying, and that all of its family members had come to gather around it, but apparently that is not the case. All of these whales are dying. Now, this coming together is a testament to the bonds that these whales have and the empathy they feel. But the real question is, why are they all dying? Scientists can only speculate at this point. A lot of people in the comments are blaming sonar, whether it be government testing weapons or sonar from submarines. Nevertheless, it's a powerful clip. Okay, this is an awesome photo here. This is an incident next to the Kambaru Sanctuary in Karnataka. So this leopard was chasing this dog. The dog, finding itself trapped, leapt into this bathroom. And sure enough, the leopard jumped in right behind him. The dog, scared to death once the leopard entered, just cowered in a corner. Didn't even dare to bark or fight. Was just accepting his fate. Now, let's not forget this leopard was hungry. He was chasing this dog, not to play with it, but to eat it. But that didn't happen. The two animals were together in different corners for almost 12 hours. The forestry department was able to lean over the enclosure and tranquilize the leopard and get both of them out of there safely. Now, like me, I'm sure you're asking why the leopard didn't eat the dog. Well, researchers responded to this question. According to them, wild animals are very sensitive to their freedom. As soon as they realize their liberty has been taken away, they can't do what they want to do. They can feel deep sorrow, so much so that they can forget their hunger. Their natural motivation to feed the stomach begins to be replaced by motivation for freedom. Freedom to think, act, and live in a way that they wish. Just an amazing photo. In late March of 2021, a story shared by grandmother Tori McKenzie caught the attention of several national news outlets in Australia and around the world. Tori had set up a CCTV camera in her granddaughter's room at her son's house. She took this upon herself after her granddaughter complained about a mysterious visitor frequenting her room. I bet that went over great with her daughter-in-law. A few days later, Tori got a notification on her phone. The camera had detected movement in the room. When she checked the footage, she almost fell down. In the night vision view, an oddly hunched figure stood near the crib. Tori described it as a horned creature with long claws. Concerned, she went over to the house and started burning special oils in an attempt to cleanse the house. Now, strangely enough, this seemed to aggravate the unseen presence. Cabinets and curtains began to fling open, and music would spontaneously play. Grandma decided to share her unsettling experience in a paranormal group on social media. Many advised her to tell her son and wife and daughter to move out. Others suggested bringing in a priest for a cleansing ritual. As for the skeptics, well, they wondered if the image might be a product of AI manipulation or even a staged prank. But Tori decided to clap back. In response, she insisted she had neither the knowledge nor the tools to manipulate such footage. She also mentioned that orbs had been spotted in the bedroom previously. Taking advice from others, the family tried burning nettle salt and Palo Santo, commonly known as holy wood, and believed to ward off negative energy. It gets weirder. Every time they tried to light the wood, it would mysteriously extinguish, followed by a short burst of music that lasted about 5 seconds before abruptly stopping. To this day, Tori's predicament remains unsolved, and the family still lives in the house. I just think this clip is incredible. Look at this massive great white shark. And that right there is why they say, you know, great whites aren't the most aggressive shark, but when they bite you, you usually die because you can't survive a bite from something like that. And this might be the comment of the year. A guy in the comments said, just punch it in the nose, they say. I'm sure you've all heard that. If you're at the beach and a shark bites you, latches on, just punch it in the nose. Yeah, okay. The original uploader of this said that a man on a horse is getting attacked by an interdimensional creature. It says these creatures come from a parallel world that is still unknown to us, but is also connected to our world. So they just slip back and forth. And you can see when the creature lunges at the horse, I mean, it bucks the rider off. It's not intimidated at all. This clip was uploaded from a camera in Monterrey, Mexico. A small mysterious creature just crossing over this roadway. I gotta say, to me it looks like a little person or a creature or something walking across, like something that's like 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. Everyone in the comments seems to agree. Some are saying that it could be a skunk. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this. What do you think this could be? Caught in a trail cam in Arizona, look as this mist-like creature comes from the right of our screen to the left. This is creepy. What is that? You know how you can see these videos on the street sometimes and it could just be a reflection or something? First of all, there's nothing for this to reflect off of, and there don't seem to be too many people just walking around this area. Some are saying that it's just a fog-like mist, but I feel like I see a human body shape walking through there. Recently, UFOs have been reported over the Colima and Popocatépetl volcanoes, and it's happened right after these volcanoes erupted. These mysterious sightings were caught on camera by Webcams de Mexico, a national service that continuously monitors and documents volcanic activity. In one of the video clips, there's this bright light hovering close to one of the volcanoes. After hanging there for a bit, it suddenly shoots straight up into the sky and disappears. It's really puzzling to say the least. Then, there's another clip with an object that has a really odd shape, almost like a horse if you squint and look closely at its dark silhouette. Now, this one is also just hovering there, but it's not doing much. Which somehow that doesn't make it any less odd. Fast forward a few days, another intriguing sighting involved a bunch of bright lights floating near one of the volcanoes, kind of like lightning bugs. But here's the thing, these lights were captured during a volcanic eruption. I mean, can you imagine that? A volcano is erupting, spewing lava, ash, and right in the middle of this scene, there's a bright light flying across the sky. It's obvious from the way it moves that it's not a piece of lava or anything like that. So what do we think these lights could be? Someone in the comments said that these could be drones. Which I tell you, if they're drones with cameras on them, I mean, they got some amazing footage, but I'm thinking it's something else entirely, if you know what I mean. With no conclusive evidence, it's hard to say, but this footage certainly gets you thinking. Alright guys, buckle up for a creepy story that'll stop you right in your tracks. A group of bikers ventured into the infamous McCoy mine in Nevada, looking for a thrill. But what they found will leave you questioning everything. They even had this brave kid with them, which you gotta give props to this guy. Anyway, they stumbled upon something truly disturbing. A pile of children's shoes in an abandoned mine. But wait, it somehow gets weirder. Mixed in with these shoes were bones. Animal or human, they couldn't really tell. But the really, truly creepy, chilling part was that these weren't old-timey shoes. These were modern sneakers. There were some Nikes, Adidas, Air Jordans, Vans, the kind of shoes that kids wear today. I mean, I'll just say it, this screams not right on so many levels. Who would collect kids' shoes and dump them in a mine? It's like maybe some creepy collector or even a serial killer using it as a trophy room. But then again, I would think there would be a huge outcry if this many kids went missing from this area. Anyhow, the whole thing is a terrifying mystery. There's no clear explanation that makes sense. It's straight up nightmare fuel. Eventually, the bikers decided to get out of there, and you can't really blame them. Nevertheless, let me know your theories in the comments. I mean, what could possibly explain this unsettling discovery? In another curious development on Reddit, a user named Lousy Mouse shared a photograph that has made the paranormal world wonder. The snapshot captures a seemingly ghostly presence. But the creepy part is that it's displayed on a child's bedroom baby monitor. The image itself depicts an almost translucent figure hovering at the photo's edge. You can see it right there on the right side, almost pressed up against the wall. Now, the mom who took this photograph said she took it while her son was deep in sleep. And many have said the spectral outline of what many claim looks like a woman, possibly donned in a nightgown, has been the epicenter of endless debates and speculation. Basically, the air is thick with theories. And there are kind of two camps. Some are saying that this might be a benevolent guardian, perhaps an angel or a spirit standing vigil as the child dreams. That's a cool kind of thought. Maybe it's a past family member or something like that. They argue that this mysterious entity might be there to protect or just watch over this young, innocent soul. Now, of course, not everyone is convinced. Some skeptics point towards more mundane explanations. They theorize that perhaps it's just a shadow cast by some type of object. It could be in a way that tricks your eyes, causing a parabolic type effect. Despite these varying beliefs, there's one undeniable fact. This photograph has piqued the interest of many paranormal investigators, and they are clamoring to get their hands on more visuals of this particular bedroom. What most are really hoping for is a chance to study images captured from the exact perspective, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to do that. As for the mom, she says she's actually battling excitement. She thinks it's kind of cool, but of course there is a hint of anxiety, so more to be revealed.
Okay, so check this video out. A park ranger captured something pretty crazy on his phone. In a state park down in Florida, a ranger was driving one of the Jeeps on his way to investigate a disturbance on the other side of the park. Suddenly, he caught something out of the corner of his eye and noticed a huge figure moving among the trees. He pulled the Jeep to a stop, grabbed his flashlight and phone and started recording. Given the darkness, it's challenging to identify the figure clearly, not to mention trying to handle the spotlight and use the video on his phone. The creature eventually slinks off, and again, the footage is hard to decipher. But once back at the station, he shows his colleagues. Now, most people think it's just a black bear, and some say it's definitely Bigfoot. But the ranger has a sneaky suspicion he has captured video of the elusive Florida skunk ape here. They released the video to the public in hopes someone can identify the creature. On another note, the fact that it was a park ranger who recorded this has stirred quite the discussion. The footage provides a glimpse of the mystery creature, and I'd be interested if any of our viewers can make out any distinguishing features. Anyhow, let me know. What's your take on this footage? The video footage was captured by a dashcam installed in a vehicle traveling late at night. The driver, who later uploaded the clip online, felt something quickly move across his path while he was on the road. Initially, he was startled, thinking that maybe a deer or some other wild animal had darted in front of his car, a common occurrence on that specific highway. However, when he reached home and reviewed the footage, what he saw surprised him. The object that crossed his path wasn't a deer or any recognizable animal. Instead, it appeared to be a swift-moving shadow, darting across the road. Curious, and wanting to rule out any technical glitches, he sought the expertise of professionals to examine the footage. They confirmed that his camera was functioning correctly at the time and hadn't malfunctioned. What the camera captured seemed to be a mysterious shadow creature that resembled an animal in form. The very idea of a shadow entity taking on the shape of an animal added layers of intrigue to the entire encounter. So, what exactly was it that crossed his path that night?
Okay, so what do we have here? It appears this gentleman has said that he has found a baby Sasquatch in this tree.
Whoa. You see what I'm seeing? Huh. I see you, buddy. It's okay. Well, you can see the white of his eyes in the corner. I think I figured the secret out a little bit.
Now, I kind of see what he is seeing, but I don't know. So, what do we think about this? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. It would make sense that these Bigfoot are up in the trees more. It would make them harder to see, to find, discover. I just don't know what I think about this. Now, my kids thought this clip was awesome, but if you have a fear of snakes, tunnels, or dark spaces, here's your heads up to fast forward. Still here? Well, then I trust you're ready to dive in. Now, where do you think this was recorded, and what exactly are we seeing? This clip was actually posted on a Reddit paranormal forum by a relatively new user, and it came without any explanation. If you're familiar with the internet, you already know it has sparked a big debate. Some people believe it was filmed in an abandoned or hidden tunnel, while others suggest it might be footage from a classified government facility. There are also those who are convinced it's a CGI creation. Personally, I'm trying hard not to jump to conclusions, but it's certainly a mystery. What say you guys? Said to have been taken from a doorbell camera in the mountains of Colorado. The uploader said that he was alerted to movement on his deck and saw this big, upright walking, Bigfoot-like creature. I would say this guy fits the bill. As I dug into the comments though, a lot of people are saying that this is AI generated. What do you guys think? Probably is a little too good to be true. Have you ever noticed certain strange images that appear after accident scenes? You might have seen something like this pop up online. Yes, the focus is often on the accident, but there's something else that grabs attention. Look closely at the photo. Do you see a figure perhaps resembling a man or some kind of humanoid creature standing on or near the vehicle? Many have reported seeing this phenomenon in photos of accident sites. It's odd because this figure, or being, wasn't visible during the actual event, only later when reviewing the pictures. These mysterious figures often appear alone, watching the scene. Sometimes they're dressed in dark clothing, and on rare occasions they may even be holding a scythe, reminiscent of the Grim Reaper, a symbol of death that's been deeply embedded in folklore for centuries. The Grim Reaper is traditionally depicted as a skeletal figure in a hooded robe, and is believed to arrive when someone's life has come to an end, escorting their soul to the afterlife. Some people speculate that these images may capture the souls of the victims as they depart, while others remain unsure of what's truly being shown. It's an eerie mystery that leaves much room for interpretation. What do you think is really happening in these strange photos? Someone recently uploaded a video online claiming they spotted a strange creature staring at them through their door. Naturally, seeing something like this would send a chill down anyone's spine. The figure appeared to be some sort of dark, shadowy being, as if it had emerged from another dimension, hungry for flesh and bone. I mean, if anyone saw such a thing outside their door, panic would be the only natural reaction. I was about to dive into my own theory on what it might be when I saw a particular commenter's opinion. He pointed out that an ordinary dog could look like this when recorded through thermal imaging. He also mentioned that similar effects could be achieved by applying filters and post-production edits to the video. So, after hearing that, I couldn't view the clip the same way. I mean, what if he's right, and it's just someone trying to pull a prank for a few moments of internet fame? They're 15 minutes of glory. But then again, what if he's wrong? What if there really is some kind of nocturnal creature that looks like this? Anyhow, I can't seem to shake that unsettling thought. What do you all think? Prank or something more sinister?
What?
Somebody's in the window. Keep it up.
No, there's not.
We heard a ticking clock.
Don't go nowhere. Stay right here.
Alright, check this out. A father was at home when he suddenly heard his daughter shouting for him, claiming there was someone behind the window. In the footage, you can see the figure quickly run off as soon as her father appears, prompting him to rush over to check outside. However, he finds nothing out of the ordinary. Puzzled, he steps outside to investigate further, but there's no one in sight. It's only when he comes back inside and reviews the footage that the unsettling truth becomes apparent. Upon closer inspection, the figure that moved away from the window didn't look human. It had an alien-like head with large, pitch-black eyes. The sight is both eerie and perplexing, leaving the father and those who watched the video feeling uneasy. What was this strange figure? Was it an alien spying on them, or just a neighbor pulling a bizarre prank? Okay, so for me, I love casual footage that picks up something crazy or scary in the background, but when you're showing us a video of your daughter yelling for you and you are recording, I just think that's weird. If I hear my daughter scream about someone lurking outside her window, yeah, I'm not grabbing my phone. If you get my drift.
Ai, meu Deus do céu! Vocês estão entendendo o quanto de jacaré tem aqui? Ai, meu Deus. Eu tô na barraca literalmente pra acampar. Vamos dormir aqui, guys? Teu cu.
Camping can be an exciting adventure, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart. And this story perfectly illustrates why. Picture yourself in the wilderness, enjoying the peacefulness of nature, only to be startled awake in the middle of the night by unsettling noises. This is exactly what one man experienced during his camping trip. As he cautiously peeked outside his tent, his heart most likely stopped. Yeah, there was a group of crocodiles lurking just outside, waiting to eat him. That's what they're waiting for. There's no other explanation, okay? The realization that you're surrounded by these apex predators with only a thin tent separating you from them it's enough to make anyone think twice about camping ever again. And yeah, while nature can be both beautiful and calming, stories like this reminds me that it's unpredictable and can be very dangerous. So tell me, are you packing up and getting out of here? I would have to say, I would rather have 10 armed combatants at my tent door than those crocodiles. Hungry cannibals, and whatever else you can think of, but not crocodiles. Check this out, we've got one of those clips that makes you do a double take just to be sure you saw what you think you did. Looky here, what do you think that is? It's not every day you step outside and spot a strange creature perched in a tree near your house. The person who uploaded the video was both confused and a tad frightened, seeking answers and wondering if she was safe or needed to consider moving, and I don't blame her. Once the video went live, it sparked various theories. Some thought it might be an otherworldly being watching her from the trees, while others had a more down-to-earth explanation, suggesting it could just be mango thieves hiding out when they heard her approaching. Mango thieves may sound plausible, but those eyes don't quite look human, at least from my perspective. But you've seen the clip. What's your take on it? This next clip is more of a story, told by a man who says that a Bigfoot smashed into the side of his vehicle. He sent this into Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, and here was his quote. "While driving through a rocky pass in the mountains, all of a sudden I was struck by something huge. Initially I thought perhaps it was a boulder that came off the mountain. While I thought that would be weird, it wasn't totally out of the realm of possibility. As it pushed my truck off track, I glanced into the rearview mirror. I was able to see a big hairy creature getting back to his feet and scampering off the road. Needless to say, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. When he got to the other side of the road, he glanced at my vehicle, and through the rearview mirror it was like we locked eyes. He started chasing the vehicle on all fours. I hightailed it out of there, and after a few twists and turns I lost him. I pulled into the ranger station, but no one was there. My window was shattered, so I was afraid to stay in my vehicle. I went into the bathroom and was able to lock the door shut." The man went on to say that only his family believes him. The park rangers don't. He also says he's been to years and years of therapy, and he knows what chased him, and he knows it wasn't a bear. Bears don't have faces like this. I've lived with these memories for over 20 years, and this is my first time telling this story. I hope you enjoy it.
Our first clip is from Trail Camera Dad, and he's captured some amazing footage. The video starts with the elk feeding on some low vegetation towards the end of the day. You can tell they sense something. Something is hitting their nostrils. One of the cow makes an alert sound, and they all take off. And here comes the lion through the brush. As we watch it again, the cow closest to the screen makes the alert, but her back is facing where the lion came from. I wonder how she knows not to run that way. I guess it could just be instinctual. I'd love to know what experienced elk hunters and wildlife enthusiasts think the reason is. This is an interesting video here. A young boy and his father are exploring in Yellowstone National Park. As they're admiring the beautiful elk, the boy spots a creature behind the elk. Dad zooms in on the elk grazing and slows the video down. Circled in red, you can see the creature in the background. It appears he's in between a cluster of logs, foraging for something maybe. It's a little too far away to see it clearly, but the boy and his dad were adamant that it was a Bigfoot. I'm not here to tell them what they saw, and honestly, I can't even tell. My only real hang-up is that if it were a predator, the elk don't seem to care much. It appears they don't even notice that something is back there. Or, if it is a Bigfoot, maybe they don't view him as a predator. I'd be interested in what you all think about this. And can anyone make out what that creature is? This is an absolutely incredible event. A man is awakened by some commotion on his deck, so he goes to investigate. And wouldn't you know it, a mountain lion is standing there and has killed and dragged an elk onto his deck. Unbelievable. As the man films, the lion gives him a hiss, hoping he'll leave and let him eat in peace. I'm so interested in how all of this went down. if the struggle took place nearby and the cat dragged the elk there, or if it took place right in the guy's backyard. What do you guys think the timeline of events was? You can faintly see some light blood in the snow as the lion walks away. I wonder if he has an injury. Most importantly, I hope the lion is able to eat this, as I know he or she expended a lot of energy to kill that elk. These apex predators fail much more than you might expect, so like I said, a lot of energy was burned. If it was me, I'd call some buddies, load it up in the truck, and drag it out in the woods and let nature take its course. Nonetheless, an extraordinary camera capture. As a man named Wyatt drove down a rural road on a dark June night in 2021, the only thing illuminating his way was the beam of his headlights. As he continued, suddenly something strange caught his eye, darting across the road with lightning speed. At first he couldn't make out what it was, but upon reviewing the footage captured by his dash cam, he realized it was something truly terrifying. The creature, resembling something between a dragon and a gigantic mantis, is unexplainable. Wyatt had a passenger with him that night, and he had never seen anything like it either. Currently, this being remains a mystery to this day. Has anyone seen anything like this before? This video, recorded by a Florida man, shows him passing by a seemingly very common sight, a flock of birds in the sky. However, upon closer inspection, he realizes that the birds are not moving and appear to be frozen in time. It is highly unusual for a bird to be able to suspend itself in the sky without flapping its wings, and especially uncommon for a large flock of crows, which are known to constantly flap their wings to stay aloft. Are we witnessing a real-life glitch in the Matrix? When a forest gets really quiet, it always gives me the creeps. And recently it seems like every forest and town has a scary story attached to it, whether it's real or a myth. Well, recently, a man named Don was walking in the woods when he stumbled upon a creature unlike any he had ever seen before. It moved in a way that was not human or animal-like. As Don was filming, he cautiously crept up on the creature, which was ape-like, but had very long and bent arms and legs and was hunched over. Some have suggested it could be a Sasquatch, but what I notice is the arms and hands. They're like nothing I've ever seen. It almost looks like some type of alien to me. The creature's gigantic sloth-like arms had no fingers, and it walked deeper and deeper into the forest, and Don didn't dare follow it. It's hard to say what this creature could be. Some have suggested it could be a deformed monkey or ape, or even a sick bear, but it seems far too thin and lumbering to be a bear. It also seemed to walk on two legs, almost like a human, but again almost alien-like. Others have been referring to this creature as a forest humanoid angel. I'm not sure why anyone would describe this as an angel, but I definitely believe in humanoids. A GoPro attached to a man's helmet shows him mountain biking down a trail. Holy hell. Was anyone fast enough to see that? Let's watch again. A startled deer collides with a mountain biker on a secluded trail, sending both the man, his bike, and the elk tumbling. Thankfully, no serious injuries were reported. In 2011, a farmer in a small village in Russia reported that his home was shaken by a sudden explosion. As he went outside and searched for the source of the blast, he stumbled upon a strange set of remains. The creature had an unusual head and an even more peculiar torso and limbs. Its petrified state was also quite perplexing. The entire shape of the creature is intriguing. The farmer was said to be drying corn at the same time, which makes this even more odd. I don't think I would personally store an alien-like creature next to a potential food source. While it's difficult to say for sure without proper scientific examination, it's possible that this could be an unidentified extinct animal. With the Arctic warming twice as fast as the global average, it's likely that we may see more strange creatures emerging from the permafrost in the future. This next clip comes to us from the Daily Vale in Colorado, and what you see on camera needs no introduction. As you can see, a mountain lion has sauntered into a ground floor ski chalet, which appears to have no doors. Look, I understand ski in and ski out, but one door wouldn't hurt. Anyhow, the cat meanders around the hallway undetected, just checking things out, and somehow he must have gotten stuck in there, because he eventually even spends the night, curled up down at the end of the hall. The next morning when the sun rises, the cat is looking for an escape. The cat continues to wander the halls, and you see a man stick his head out of his doorway. Looks like he and his son are going to hit the slopes. They duck back into their place as the cat hisses at them. And you can see the cat is frantic to get out of there and can't quite figure out the glass. He can see the outside, but he can't get there. Moments later, a couple comes back in with groceries or something, and a lady and her dog casually walk out for her dog to use the bathroom and start their day. And here comes the lion. As soon as the lion hits the threshold, you can see that he spots the two, likely still very close to the entrance, as he crouches down into a pounce position. As we fast forward, the lady eventually gathers her dog back in, after likely coming face to face with the lion. She motions to another resident and says, "There's a big bobcat." "No ma'am, that's no bobcat." Luckily, it seems as no one has been hurt though. Now, if I could, let's run through a scenario really quickly. I think this video is crazy. Let's say you're at this property, enjoying your night, watching Netflix, yada yada, and you hear some commotion out in the hallway. Maybe the lion bumps into your door, you think someone's knocking, whatever. You look through the peephole but don't see anything. So you open the door ever so slightly, and boom, you now have a mountain lion in your condo. What do? You probably don't have your phone, maybe you don't have shoes on, completely caught off guard, and now there's a mountain lion inside. What's your next move? I'm genuinely curious. You'd have to think fast. I guess it would depend on who's with you. If my kids and family are in there, I'm going back in regardless, but if I'm alone, I think the move is to lock the cat in there. Again, it will require some quick thinking. Let me know your tactics in the comments below. We've talked a lot about how dangerous feral hogs can be, not only to the community of farmers and agriculturalists, but to just people in general. In our next clip, we see a group of men trekking through the snow while on a hunt. Now, I don't know if they're hunting these boar, but they're hunting something. They have their rifles over their shoulders, and you can see them start running. When the camera pans behind them, a huge hog is heading straight for them, but veers off. Then another one comes barreling straight at one of the men that has fallen on the ground. Somehow the camera is still rolling, and no gunshots have been heard, I might add. And what looks like an entire family of wild boars coming over the hill right at the guys. It looks to be like 12 to 15 of them. I'm assuming they all survived because there's a video, and man, they have quite the story to tell. Let me know in the comments if you've had any interactions with wild boars and feral hogs. Like most people, I love any inside look into wildlife, and I particularly love seeing animals and predators in action. Check this out as a wolf chases down a coyote in front of some ice fishermen. Look at the massive size difference. Coyotes are decent size, topping out at around 40 pounds, but big male wolves tip the scales around 140, 100-pound difference. I bet the coyote is glad he doesn't weigh 10 more pounds, or he would have been caught. The coyote jukes, getting the wolf off balance, and as the video ends, appears to have gotten away. Just an incredible camera capture for these guys fishing. Residents of Estes Park, Colorado became alarmed when they started seeing an elk with a mesh swing stuck in his antlers. He had been spotted a few times over a span of weeks. A local Facebook page was the first to put it on paper and reported the elk appeared to be in good health, but the swing seemed to be causing the animal some discomfort. Wildlife experts believe that the elk may have mistaken the swing for a rival, since this took place during mating season, or rut. Elk are known to engage in fierce competition for mates during this time of the year, and the swing may have been perceived as a threat. Experts also pointed out that human-made objects can be dangerous for wild animals, and it's best to avoid leaving any kind of trash or discarded items in natural areas. Local officials were trying to decide if they needed to have a professional remove the swing or let nature take its course. And ultimately, the swing would become dislodged when the elk lost his antlers. Some commenters on the Facebook post said they wanted to try to pry the swing from his antlers, but officials warned them not to. Like they said, it's too dangerous in the middle of mating season. Bucks are aggressive and are known to, quote, stand their ground in the presence of people. Let's leave this one to the professionals, guys.